Hey all, welcome back to the lab. In this video, we're going to be talking about 66 companies hiring remote software engineers in the US in 2025. And so I've been searching for a remote software engineering position for the past few weeks, and while the software engineering market has definitely been improving as a whole from, its lowest point back in 2023-ish, many remote options are actually being removed as some long-standing remote-friendly employers join the wave of RTO. Now, I'm still a very big remote stan, and so I wanted to share a non-exhaustive list of companies that I found that are currently hiring remote software engineers in the US in 2025. This list will never be exhaustive because they change every day, but I think this is a pretty good start if you're looking for a remote position this year. All right, so here's my big list. Really just gonna give the name and a short description of what they do. If you want to look them up, you can obviously go Google them or whatever, but really going to try to get through these as quick as possible. So the first is 1Password, which is a password manager software kind of like LastPass. They use a lot of Ruby here, so if you're a Ruby person, you might like that. The next is Abnormal Security, which does security. Airbnb, which is, short-term vacation rentals. Anchorage Digital, which is like a crypto exchange, kind of. Attentive, which is a marketing platform. Block, which does finance, and then it's been heavily leaning into, distributed finance or decentralized finance lately. They also own things like Square and Cash App, which we'll talk about in a minute. Calendly, which does calendar appointments. I don't really know what their business model is here or how they can afford to run off just calendar appointments, but a lot of people seem to use them. Calm, which is a meditation app, which is kind of remote. They say that they're remote, but they do say that they have a very heavy preference for SF-based people, and I personally didn't get an interview from them, so kind of unclear if or how remote they actually are, so keep that in mind if you're applying here. We have Cash App, which is part of Block, Cedar Health, which is health stuff, Charlie Health, similar, and then Check, which is interesting. It does like payroll backend software, and they kind of do like white labeling to other companies, which is interesting. Cloudflare, which is internet infrastructure. Clubhouse, which is audio-focused social platform. It is still around. They still pay pretty decently. They seem to have a growing team, so, they're out there, I guess. Coinbase, which is a crypto exchange. Content Square, which does digital analytics. Cortex, which is development dashboards. That's kind of similar to that Backstage thing from, I think it's Spotify. They put that out a few years ago, and they're kind of making a, more owned, managed version of that. Cribble, which does like IT telemetry. CrowdStrike, which is security. Maybe you can prevent them from, crashing all the Windows servers next year. Dataminer, which does real-time event scanning. Datavant, which does tokenized health data to allow, the monetization of people's data in a safe way that follows all the compliance rules, and then it allows research institutes to get access to this data and actually, run whatever analytics or simulations or stuff they want on it. Engine, which was previously called Hotel Engine, which does bookings for groups, mainly focused on corporate groups. So you're trying to, book a trip for your whole team to someplace, instead of doing that individually or having people do that individually, you can try to do it in a group fashion. Fathom Health, which is trying to bring AI to doctors, help them with notes and stuff. Figma, which is online design tools. We also have Gather, which is the virtual remote work from home MMO. It kind of looks like, like a Habbo Hotel or like a Pokemon if it was multiplayer, and it's kind of like a virtual office space. Interesting idea, but I've never used it. GitHub, which is, a hub for Git. Grok, which does fast AI inference. Gusto, which is more payroll and HR. HashiCorp, which is, infrastructure and security lifecycle management. Headway Co., which is a mental health provider marketplace. HighTouch, which is marketing. Hopper, which is used for booking travel. Kind of reminds me of a Google Flights or something. How, which does affiliate links. HubSpot, which is marketing. And they probably do a ton of other things as well, but marketing, I guess. Human Interest, which is 401k stuff. Hungry, which is grocery delivery. Instacart, which is also grocery delivery. And Kindred, which is house swapping. We have Linear, which is a productivity app, kind of like Monday, or, ticketing like Atlassian's, Jira, stuff like that. But I've heard really good reviews about Linear, but never used it myself. Mercury, which does banking for startups. Microsoft does, Microsoft. Mixpanel does marketing websites. Miston Labs does crypto. Netflix, video streaming. NVIDIA, which is GPUs for gaming and AI, though, I've met several people that work at NVIDIA, and they do all sorts of other things as well. I guess trying to, use all their cash to spin up other business ventures. OpenSea, which does NFTs, and then Oracle, which, again, does a lot of stuff, doesn't even know what they do, not really. But they do own MySQL, which is interesting for those that use MySQL. We have Oscar Health, Pinterest, Prepared, which is 911 call center tech. Quora, which is a Q&A site, but they've also been leaning heavily into AI stuff with their Poe product. Ramp, which is credit cards and expense management. Reddit, which is social media. Runway AI, which is kind of reminds me honestly of Midjourney, where Midjourney is focused on images. Runway really seems to focus on video. Salesforce, no one knows what they do either. Samsara, which is like Internet of Things for vehicle fleets. It's pretty interesting. They seem to have like devices on all of the vehicles, and then that pipes data back up to, wherever the HQ is, and then you use that to help determine when your vehicle needs to be like refueled or serviced or something like that. Service Titan, which is software for tradespeople. SoFi, which is banking. Splunk is more data analytics. Stripe is internet payments. Uniswap is a crypto exchange, and I think their tagline is like the largest crypto exchange by volume or something like that. Upstart does loans. Vanta does like compliance. They try to do like more automated compliance, scanning and stuff like that. Versa, which is a serverless cloud host. Webflow, which is like a no-code platform, though it seems like they're maybe trying to move away from that terminology. Whatnot, which is live stream shopping. And then we have Yahoo, which is, mail, fantasy football, finance. They've got news. They're, still around here. And so that's 66 companies that I know through this search are hiring software engineers remotely in the US. So if you're looking for a job, check out their websites, their career sites, and then go from there. Do not apply via not their career site. That's how you get scammed. Please go to their actual career site on their actual website and click links from there. And then last bit of information is if you're looking for salary information for any of these companies, I would still highly recommend levels.fyi. This is not sponsored, but it is the best source of information I found for searching and comparing tech salaries. And I would also encourage you to add your own salaries there for your current position or even your past positions, because I think this transparency, gives software engineers and everyone in these roles a lot more leverage to actually get what they're worth. So worth doing. It takes like 2 minutes. It's all anonymous, and everything's free. So might as well go and do that. Now, if you like this post, you might also like how to find a fulfilling career, no matter what you're into. Might also be interested in my career as a software engineer so far. This is a little bit old. This is from about 2 years ago, where I had 6 years of experience and just left Meta. But, most of it's still true. And then finally, how return to office policies kill productivity for software engineers and how to salvage it. Really my big rant about the problems with RTO and especially the way that they seem to be doing it for the past few years, unfortunately. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.